Hi peeps, I'm Tichina, and here we go, Behind the Row. So, please tell me what is your full name and what does it mean?
My full name is Nmon Ford. Nmon means that I have a creative mama, because she made it up. And Ford is my father's, mother's, and last names put together.
Fantastic. And what is your favorite city and why?
Favorite city is Los Angeles, born and raised. It's a complete cliche, but the weather is fantastic pretty much every day of the year.
I'm so jealous. Really jealous. So, are you an only child?
I'm not. I have one brother who's about a year and a half older. He thinks he's 10 years older.
I love it. And are you single?
I'm single.
Fantastic. And tell me, Nmon, what is your favorite saying in your native language and what does it mean?
My favorite saying in my native language, I would say bold as a lion. It's actually taken from a verse in the Bible. And for me, it means that not necessarily being aggressive or being sort of warmongering, but it means that whatever your truth is, you're bold about it, you live it, you speak it every day, you live it every day, and people can really tell what you're about.
Fantastic. Now, what is the most extravagant thing that you ever bought or did?
The most extravagant thing I ever bought or did? Well, I like to buy clothing, so I'm going to say the most extravagant thing I ever bought and did was to buy a whole bunch of clothing all at once. I think it was back the first and only time I went to Milan, and there's that street that goes down the way from the
Via
La Scala.
Mazzini?
Exactly. Yeah, they still talk about it.
I love it. Fantastic. So, are there any weaknesses that you would like to share with us?
Weaknesses. I'll say this. It's a weakness that has developed in the last couple of years. Usually, I'm very even-tempered, and big crises, I tend to go into crisis mode, so I get very specific, I get very particular, I deal with details, the emotions I can sort of put under and deal with the situation as it is. That's for big crises. Little things get on my last nerve. Bad Wi-Fi, stubbing my toe, somebody walking too slowly on the street, that stuff, I'm ready to go to war.
I'm sort of with you on that.
Yeah.
I get that. So, what is your greatest accomplishment so far?
My greatest accomplishment so far is probably learning to like myself. And I think it's different from when people talk about loving themselves because it gets very sort of woo-hoo and sort of vague as far as terminology. Liking yourself, if you think about liking somebody and what that really means, you like them, you want to be around them, you have fun with them. I don't know. Having fun with myself and liking myself, I would say probably it.
Fantastic. So tell me, how were you bitten by the theater bug and how did you begin your professional life?
Theater bug, well, I was first bitten by the musical bug. So if anybody out there is familiar with Long Long, the concert pianist, when I was 3 years old, I was on my way to that life. So piano, practicing, all that kind of stuff. Around 11 years old, the practicing got to be a little much. So I said, I think I'm done with piano. And ended up over in singing just because it was fun and doing a lot of singing in church choirs and then finally pushing me out front because I was too loud, which I'm sure a lot of my colleagues have had the same experience. I ended up singing just for fun. I saw a rebroadcast on PBS of Leontyne Price's Aida from the Met, her final performance, and it was her. The main thing that did it for me was the scene with her and Simon Estes playing her father in Act 3. And the two of them front and center, directly in front of the camera, lighting up the stage. The vocals, I didn't know human voices could do that.
Yeah.
That was pretty much it. And it just kind of went on from there.
Okay, and your professional career as a stage artist now?
Well, that happened, it actually happened while I was in college, because if anybody knows me, I tend to be a little bit entrepreneurial. And just starting college, freshman, sophomore year, they try to sort of discourage professional performances so that you get yourself together and technique and yada yada. I was having none of it. So I started putting together, producing concerts, producing shows, finding opera scenes that my friends and I could sing well enough to do in public, sort of off campus in semi-professional venues, doing all of that. That pretty much started the whole thing going. I'd been a professional musician from before then playing piano, but with voice, that's when that part of my professional musical artistic career really started. And then I want to say second year of my master's degree, I went to New York and started singing for agents, and then it all kind of snowballed from there.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So last question. Do you have a belief system? And if so, what is one thing you would like people to know about it? And if not, what is one thing you might like people to know about that?
Well, I am a Christian. To be specific, Bible-believing, Jesus-believing Christian. One thing I would like people to know about that is, from how I interpret Scripture, any judgments I have to make about behavior, life choices, are judgments about myself, not about anybody else. That's just how I interpret Scripture, that's how I believe it. But everybody, it's going to be a two-parter. There's that. The second part would be, everybody needs to know God for themselves. Any situation that you are in, anything you're going through, whatever your overarching belief is about how you are going to come to Jesus, how you're going to come to a knowledge of divinity, whatever that means, you have to know it for yourself. It's that personal relationship, that personal bond, that personal struggle in a lot of cases that solidifies faith in what you believe. For me, that's what I found.
Amen. And I said last question, but I did forget one. What, wait a minute, shoot, I just saw it. What is your favorite role, theater piece, or your dream engagement?
Favorite role? It changes, but I would say right now my favorite role, I gotta give it a tie, because I can't pick. One would be the Marquis of Posa in Lo Carlo, and the other one would be Telramund in Lohengrin. For some reason, that poor damaged man, I just feel for him. I feel for him.
And is this your first Porgy and Bess?
It is. It's the first time I've ever done it.
And is it meeting your expectations, or?
It's exceeding. Full disclosure, I've avoided this opera my whole life for a number of reasons that I'm sure I don't need to break down for anybody who's familiar with this opera and a lot of the people who have sung it in the past.
Actually, if you wouldn't mind a small breakdown, we'd be very happy for
Sure.
that.
My experience with not just this opera, but any opera that specifically features artists of color, specifically Black African-American artists, there is a pigeonhole that people get put into. There is a presumption of what they can do and what they should do. Porgy and Bess becomes the go-to engagement for those artists. There's nothing wrong with having a go-to engagement. There's nothing wrong with consistent employment. I have no judgments on anything anybody has chosen to do. For me, that is a slot I did not want to be put into. Also, quite honestly, the only thing I knew of Porgy and Bess really was the concert version with the 40-minute highlights, which are all the best parts of the opera as far as I'm concerned, except for some orchestral interludes. And other than that, I really had no interest, partially for the aforementioned reasons. I had no interest in digging into it anymore. That was enough for me. This came up, and because of just where I am in my life and the fact that I was about to quit singing a few years ago anyway, I didn't really care, I thought, let me do it. The cast list was amazing, including yourself. And there were people I wanted to perform with. I wanted to come back to London. I've never sung at this company before. I said, you know what? It's kind of the perfect storm of reasons not to continue to avoid this opera. And it has far exceeded my expectations. This cast is wonderful. The orchestra sounds great. I'm having such a wonderful time. And to have this be my first performance of it, ideal.
Well, we're so glad that we're here with you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nmon.
My pleasure.